Hi, I'm Meilin Obinata. I'm a senior college admissions counselor at Insight Education. I've been doing college admissions counseling in the Bay Area since 2012. High schools all over the Bay Area, like Lowell, Gunn High School, Palo Alto High School, Monte Vista, so international high schools. And my experience includes students who were accepted to the Ivy Leagues and very selective summer programs in all subjects, all domains. I got my math degree from UC Santa Cruz, and I have a Juris Doctorate from Mitchell Hamlin. Before getting into college admissions counseling, I had a life before education. I worked in tech and government, and I have experience in nonprofits. So I have a view of what adults are like in very different areas. And when I look at students, I'm thinking about all the different kinds of adults I know and how they become those people or they become adults themselves. So I feel like that gives me a different perspective just because I've seen different kinds of people. I really enjoy working with students to think about their future and reflect on what they're doing now. It's actually a really exploratory process, and I just think it's really exciting when people are just discovering things about themselves. It's kind of like opening presents. Insight is very student-centered. It really is about helping students grow and discover their own strengths and just seeing how much they can do when they're motivated and inspired. So one thing is that I think it's very important actually to listen and to learn from students and really get to know them. And also it's important to introduce new experiences so that they can really explore things that they may not have considered, and they can gain a lot of value from those things. And also to think about, oh no, I'm not liking this, but I'm loving that, and think about how can they put their time towards things they really love and that they're really learning from, because learning how to learn is something that they will be working on for their entire lives. I think it's really important to let students learn how to trust their own instincts. So sometimes they hear things from different people or they're thinking about past experiences. And it's really important to think about, how do you want to optimize your time right now, right? To really make the most of high school. So I think that's something I always strive to do, is learning how to trust themselves so that they can really thrive. I'm really comfortable working with students who are creative or are finding their creativity. So whether that's, let's say their favorite thing is robotics, or they love writing, fan fiction. When they're constantly making things, I think that's really interesting. And I don't understand everything, oh, you're blowing glass or whatever, you're making video, they're not everything a student does is something I've personally experienced, but somehow I think that creative impulse, I really want to nurture that. And I think that is something I really appreciate in students and encourage. It sounds really cheesy to say be authentic, but that's actually my advice. Sometimes people were like, oh, but will colleges appreciate it if I do this or that? And they're sort of wondering or speculating. And really, I would say, make sure what you're doing is serving you right now, personally, because you are the one who will be with you long after college is over. So you always want to stay true to yourself and what you really need and what is important to you. That might change over time, but learning how to stay authentic, I think that can be very challenging to do. I actually think it's important to remember, in the end, you are choosing one college, and there's a lot of excitement along the way, and there are a lot of decisions. but you're really finding one college to match your child. So it's really important to make a reasonable plan and then adjust along the way. There's a lot of excitement and there's a lot of stress actually around the college process, like how to prepare for this or that. And there are many questions, but in the end, you will want to make a balanced college list and have great options for every level of risk, whether that's like a dream school or you're like, oh, I'm definitely going to get in. But you want to take the time to treat each college seriously and really think about what it will mean to send your child there, because it's not just their brain going to college, it's actually their entire person. I tell students, you're marrying thousands of people for the time you're there. So you really want to know, how can I make the most of this? But you need to find at the end one. And I think that takes fear out of the equation. You want to make these decisions with a clear mind. And I think remembering you are just finding the one, that helps keep your mind clear.